All right, shooters ready? All right, stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Shooter ready? Stand by. Shooter is ready. Stand by. Not over the top.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the training and education segment of the video. I plan on taking you on a guided tour of how I approach each stage of this match and which techniques I use to help keep my times low. We will first watch a stage at normal speed, followed by a reduced speed playthrough with commentary. If you've ever wanted to get into competitive shooting, or just want to know what goes through my head while I'm running a stage, get ready. You're in for a lot of information. Before we start watching the footage, I'd like to address a recurring problem. I installed a Glock 34 extended slide release and have run into problems because my grip is so aggressive that I end up holding the slide release down, which results in the slide not locking to the rear after the last round. You will see me press the trigger on an empty chamber on nearly every stage. It cost me valuable seconds on the clock, and I will see what happens during the next match after I revert back to stock. Even though I suffer with the slide release problem, it allows me to show you how I don't anticipate recoil, which means the muzzle of the pistol does not dip when pressing the trigger on an empty chamber. I hope you enjoy the video and learn a lot. Let's take a look at stage 1, first at normal speed.
All right, shooters ready? All right, stand by.
Here is stage 1 at reduced speed. The stage starts with the pistol unloaded on the table with a magazine nearby. The shooter is playing cards with a few people who later accuse you of cheating and become hostile. As you can see by my hand, it is clear that I am not cheating. I guess they're just jealous that I'm taking all of their money. At the buzzer, I load and make ready, and neutralize the first 3 targets in tactical sequence, which means each target must be engaged with 1 round before making follow-up shots to reach the stage specification of 3 rounds per target. I do this in short order because these targets are very close. Notice the position of my index finger as I get ready to insert this magazine. The tip of my index finger is touching the Gen 4 magazine release cutout on the front of the magazine body. This is tactile feedback that is present every time I index a magazine. It lets me know that the magazine is in the proper orientation without even thinking about it, and the index finger points in the direction that the magazine needs to travel in. I insert the magazine and use the overhand method to charge the pistol. Let's neutralize the first 3 threats. Remember that problem with the extended slide release I spoke about earlier? Well, it's about to happen. Notice how the muzzle of the pistol stays on target when I press the trigger on an empty chamber. This is due to hundreds of rounds of practice and concentration, forgetting about recoil altogether because it does not affect shot placement. I am now executing a reload. Take note of where my index finger is placed on the magazine carrier. When I remove the magazine from the carrier, my index finger will translate to the Gen 4 cutout just like before, the tactile feedback that lets me know that the magazine is in the proper orientation. This procedure happens every time I reload. It takes time to develop a routine, and you can see that my hands do not fumble trying to get the mag into the magwell, mostly due to my assimilation of this crucial technique. I will take my time engaging these threats at distance. I forgot that I put one round into the first target, but lucky for me, it wasn't limited Vickers count and I was not penalized. Here I am performing a search and assess to break my tunnel vision. I initially placed my GoPro on the front of my baseball cap, and this turned out to be a very unstable setup. I solved this by placing the GoPro on top of my hearing protection, which made things a lot more stable at the expense of a higher point of view. Let's take a minute to laugh as my camera takes a short flight to the ground. It's only money, right? Now we move on to stage 2. Let's watch it at normal speed first.
Shooter is ready. Stand by. Alright, shooter's finished.
Now we begin stage 2. This stage emphasizes operating from behind cover. All targets in the stage must be engaged with 3 rounds in tactical priority, which means the first target seen from behind cover is the first target shot, and so on. I take my time engaging these targets because they are so far away. I'm now transitioning to the left side of the barrier to neutralize the remaining threats in tactical priority. You will see me flinch and move my support hand to the magazine carrier as I anticipate the impending reload. The gun isn't empty yet, and I waste a bit of time due to nerves. Watch as I use the familiar finger placement on the magazine and execute a speed reload to finish the stage. Let's take a look at stage 3 at normal speed.
Alright, stop. Your magazine's coming out of your gun.
That's a problem.
That's a G17 magazine.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that.
It's okay.
It looked like it was about to come out.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Turn around. All right. Which way are you going to turn? You're going that way. Okay. Shooter ready? Stand by. All right.
Stage 3 was shot 100% clean, meaning all of my hits on target were on the designated non-penalty zones, and I did not incur any other time penalties. In addition, I was able to reload at slide lock, which was previously unseen. The first 3 targets are engaged after turning 180 degrees and drawing the pistol. I was able to do this in just over a second in normal time, which is a respectable engagement time. These targets are engaged in tactical sequence with a stage specification of 2 rounds per target. Observe how I move my eyes to the next target, then my pistol. I have just finished moving to position 2 of the stage. I get a little too close to the barrier and bump the muzzle against cover. This could have resulted in a malfunction, but I'm very glad that it didn't. These targets are neutralized in tactical priority. The second target has black bars painted on either side of the scoring zones, which means those areas are behind hard cover. Any hits scored in these black areas count as misses, so it's imperative that I make my hits in the non-penalty zones located in the chest and head. Can you believe it? The slide locked to the rear when the pistol was empty. I am definitely removing that extended slide release before the next match. Watch as I perform a speed reload and engage the last target. Notice how I use the slide release to drop the slide. Since the pistol did not fail to lock to the rear, I can save some time by using the slide release instead of the overhand method and get back on target quickly. Pew! This is the final stage of the match and my least favorite. Here it is at normal speed.
Alright, you got the phone?
Yep.
Got the phone, good deal.
See.
Alright. Shooter ready? Shooter is ready, stand by! Not over the top.
This stage simulates an ambush outside a grocery store. The first 3 threats are engaged while retreating rearward with 2 rounds each. To make things more complicated, the shooter must hold a cell phone in the support hand, which represents calling 911. I'm not sure why I would call 911 in the middle of a gunfight, but that's the stage description. Some shooters place the cell phone near their heads, while I chose to lock my support hand across my chest. Since the stage didn't specify that you needed to keep the cell phone to your ear while retreating, I took this opportunity to game this stage a bit while utilizing a technique that I learned in the Glock Firearm Instructor Workshop. By keeping the support hand in a good strong physical lockup into my chest, I was able to gain stability while moving and shooting. I ended up putting 3 rounds into each of the first 2 targets, extra insurance while I was retreating. Then I moved to cover.
Shooter is ready. Stand by.
There's that slide release problem again, screwing up my flow. Notice how the muzzle dips a little bit when I press the trigger on an empty chamber. I must be getting sloppy.
Not over the top.
After being reprimanded by my SO, I quickly switched my shooting position from over cover to around it. These last targets were just a thorn in my side. I wanted to get them taken care of and get done with the stage. In retrospect, I didn't really think much about the non-threat that was covering the body of the last target, but I didn't hit him, so it's all good. That's judicious marksmanship right there. This concludes the training and education segment. I hope you got a lot out of what I had to say. The main thing to learn is that competitive shooting is all about consistency. Everything I did served a purpose, and I took time to highlight how I performed each action the same time, every time. I'd like to take this opportunity to give a special thank you to Southern Shooting Center in Thibodaux and the match staff with South Louisiana IDPA. You all did a great job. I'll be back here next month with another training video. Until then, if you'd like more information about the techniques that I used, check out Magpul Dynamics, Art of the Dynamic Handgun, or your nearest NRA certified firearms instructor. They'll be happy to help you. Thanks very much, and see you next time.